sometimes female DJs want to leverage on the fact that when they show skin, sometimes audience comes quick.
First of all, let the record state, if my friends are watching this, none of my female DJ friends are not like that, but maybe they're there.
No, people will give names. You will see when this video is out. People will have receipts, even pictures will come. It gets me thinking, if that is how we are seeing female DJs, how are we going to move out from that level and we proceed and start seeing female DJs as professional people doing something they want to earn from and support their families?
I feel like we are focused so much on changing the female DJs and not changing the mindset of the people viewing them. I encourage them female DJs to continue dressing like that until guys like get over the fact. Let me say, if of course like a male DJ is not going to come shirtless, but let me use like theoretically, like if a male DJ came shirtless, of course, and let's say he played a bad set, I don't think he would get the same level of criticism as a female DJ who came in a short skirt and played a bad set. But like no one is 100% perfect. Like sometimes you can try to make a transition and something goes wrong, but people are more forgiving when male DJs do it than female DJs.
Welcome to yet another interesting episode of Kampala Conversations, your daily dose of conversations you always want to be part of. I want to take a special appreciation for those that in a special way engaged my previous episode. You guys loved. I didn't know all of you guys want to be good parents. And thank you for the love. Thank you for sharing. Still more to come. We cook. And in a special way, on today's podcast, we are speaking all things branding. And I know you can't wait to see the guest I have today, because no one else would speak about branding like someone building a brand from scratch. What they are doing behind the doors, behind what you don't see, all in the name of building a brand that speaks for them where they are not. On the podcast today, I have a rising DJ, a DJ that has stood up to go against the odds of the local DJ scene. DJ Ames, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you for having me.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. It's good to have you on the podcast today. And just so I ask, is this the first time you're hearing about Kampala Conversations?
No, actually, one of my good friends was on this very podcast.
Yeah,
Betty. Mm-hmm. So she was the one who told me about it. So I engaged. I watched a couple of the episodes and it was interesting. So I was like, when I'm doing my media run, this has to be one of my first stops.
And I remember this was supposed to be earlier scheduled, but we wouldn't make it. And I thank God, good conversations are worth the wait. Sometimes you have to wait until the time is right. But I thank you for coming. Thank you for being early.
My
People
pleasure.
In your category always don't respect time. I did not want to take that time from you. You have made it. So as a DJ, as someone who is trying to make the statement in the local DJ scene, before we go even any further, how does Amanda, a law student, become a DJ?
My journey to DJing was actually very interesting. It's not something I ever saw myself doing, like growing up. I always had a love for music, and my family loves music. I used to take these road trips with my dad, like super long road trips, and he had this iPad that would be packed with music, and he would let me like go through it, be the one in charge of the music while he drives. So I would listen to old music, to new music. And my mom, whenever I would go to school, she would make like playlists for me to hear in the car when I'm going to school. So growing up, I always had the love for music. But I never really saw myself going into entertainment. It was only when I joined uni, I would go out with a couple of friends of mine. I think I would consider myself a friendly person. I was always relatively extroverted. And so I had a lot of friends growing up. So I'd go out with my friends, and I would make new friends when I go out with different DJs, entertainers, hosts. It would start by hitting them up to book for me a table. And then when I would become a regular, we'd become like friends. So that's how I kind of got introduced into the nightlife. And people kept telling me to give hosting a try. But I was so skeptical. I was like, it's probably not something that I would succeed in. Until January of 2023. I had a friend who reached out to me. She was a childhood friend. I'd known her since I was in primary. And she told me she was organizing an event with her friends at Governor. And they asked me to help them host and run the event because they were trying to tap into like the national school scene, and they were from international schools. So they wanted to have like a diversity of clients.
Okay.
So I was like, okay, I'll do this one event like as a favor to a long-term friend. And after that, like I'm done.
That's it. Yeah.
The event went so well. It went so well. We were able to like fill out Governor, like it was packed. People were standing outside in lines. And from that day, another event promoter like discovered me. He was like, I saw what you did for that event at Governor and I want to work with you. So at that time, I think you remember Kush.
Yeah.
Kush. So at that time, he was doing Kush Saturdays. And I was like, you know what, why don't I give it a try? I already loved Kush because I used to go for the Fridays all the time.
Friday.
Nation. Yeah. So I was like, since I love the Fridays, let me give it a try. So I started working Kush Saturdays. And one thing about this industry, like when you start doing like relatively well, people keep hearing about you, discovering you. So that's when I met Ivan through that Saturday. So I worked with Ivan a couple of times. And yeah, I went into hosting. Of course, in the process of hosting, you become friends with your workmates, the DJs. So I became friends with the DJs. And then in 2024, I started learning how to DJ like for fun. I used to host a Sunday, the Sunday at Thrones, the Boozy branch.
Yeah, Boozy.
I used with Linda then, I used to host with Linda. So would always show up like super early. But you know how Ugandans and keeping time. Just that nowadays, I think they now try. But the branch starts at midday, but guys want to show up like 4 onwards. Yeah. So would go there super early, by like midday 1 would be there and would have like time to pass. So I started learning like with the different DJs who worked that night. And I started learning it for fun. And eventually it became something I fell in love with. And the times when there would be no one, I would come and play for fun early. And these guys would be like, but have you considered DJing? Like, you're really good. You would make a good DJ like with time. And yeah, I think it kind of like got to me. And I was like, you know what, let me give this DJing thing a try. And yeah, I think that's when I joined Sese Nation.
So before we get to Sese Nation, you see, as an upcoming DJ, I don't know who set the rules, but most upcoming DJs always play at the early hours of the night, and that's basically when people have not yet turned up. So as someone who is intentionally building a brand to present it out there so it can speak for you even where you're not, how are you capitalizing on the fact that they are still looking out for you in the early hours where the crowd has not yet come in to recognize you?
First of all, speaking on early sets, people underestimate the importance of early sets. Early sets are so important for many reasons. First of all, to you as a DJ, early sets train you to have a certain consistency in the way you play. Normally, when you play these late sets, you're doing mostly the crowd pleasing, but early sets give you like time to sit back as a DJ and play music you normally wouldn't play in like a main set. It gives you time to try new ideas. And early sets really are what set the mood for the night. Dash, I'm always joking around with Dash. I'm always joking around how you should never, there's no such thing as an early set. Like you have to start the vibe early. Once you start entertaining the crowd that's coming early, because of course those people will always be there at the bar by 7.
The few people early bird.
Once you set a good pace, like at the beginning of the night, it sets the pace for the rest of the night. So yeah, I know ideally there are people who underestimate the sets and are like, no, I don't want to play early times. But early times are good. As a DJ, it's very important to be able to play an early set and a closing set when most of the bar is empty. Because early sets, like I said, setting the pace for the night, and closing sets, they train you to play, because they have now played so-called everything. They've played all the hits, all the bangers, all the crowd warmer sets and what. And as a late set, you now have to dig deep in your brain and be like, let me play what people have not yet played. Because you can't, you're not supposed, I don't believe in repeating songs that have already been played. So you have to really play music that hasn't been played. And people have been playing music from 7, it's now 4 in the morning. That's how many hours? It's about 9 hours of music. So you have to really like dig deep into your brain. So early sets and closing sets, I feel like are very important. And those are the ones they normally give upcoming DJs, because honestly, sometimes it's also a matter of respect, per se, because you are new to the game. You are just coming up. And there are DJs who have been in this thing for 10 years plus. Like they have skills and crowd reading that
So
probably you...
So how are we transitioning as a brand, DJ Ames, from not looking at us from the point of how long we've been in the game, but how good we are at the game.
Yeah.
How are we transitioning from that to this?
That's why it's a matter of, that's why I said the analysis are important, because you train yourself, you get to practice. And finally, that's a time when people start to discover you. Let's say a bar owner is there for the night and they hear how you've played in your analysis and they're like, oh, this person is actually good. Because I've been a DJ for what? I haven't even made 2 years yet. I've been a DJ for about a year and a couple of months. But there are bar owners who would be comfortable giving me a midnight set and one set, like what they call like prime time, because they feel like they had me when I was playing the early sets, and they're like, okay, we're now confident that this person has the skills required to play this main set. So it's a matter of just doing your thing, taking time, practicing. And if they give you an early set, you take it. Personally, I don't mind any time, but like some people who want to only play early set, like the peak sets, but when they give them early sets, they're a bit skeptical. But also, if they give you an early set, take it, play your time, and eventually people are going to discover you. People are going to discover, people are going to hear you, and they're going to willingly want to take you to the later times.
And that debate of early sets and prime sets reminds me of that saga that happened in Rwanda, where a certain DJ claimed to be a curtain raiser of the headliner of the DJ. Is there something like being a curtain raiser for the main DJ and then you are not supposed to play songs the main DJ is going to play, something like that?
It's very funny that you brought up this, because I was actually talking to some friends of mine about that same topic today. Let me use maybe like the South African DJs that we bring. If you're bringing like an artist from South Africa, I think it's just courteous not to play their songs. Because, for them, a lot of their DJs are also like producers and like release music. Like those of like Uncle Waffles, Fellow Tiwa, they have their songs. So I think it's courteous. The same way if, let's say an artist is going to perform, let's say we have booked Joshua Baraka, he's going to sing his song. So like, it's courteous not to play the songs that he's going to sing. But if the person is just purely coming as a DJ, I feel like as a DJ, you should be diverse, even in your specialty. Let me use Amapiano as an example. Of course, there are what they call like the bangers, the songs that are trending now that have the dance challenges. But do you know how wide the genre of Amapiano is? I feel like, yes, sometimes they're what they call curtain raisers, like the DJ who usually plays before the main act. If it's not dictated that you're a main act, that sometimes people assume that they're the main act. Like, especially if it's an international event and they've brought DJs from all over. But if they've said you're the headliner, fine. But that should not stop the previous artist from playing freely. If you don't have songs that have your name under artist, you have no right over those songs. You want to tell me if, let's say, the owners of those songs come and play before you, you're not going to have what else to play?
I understand.
So if you're an open format DJ, be diverse. But if you've chosen to specialize in something, like if you've chosen Amapiano as your genre, you should be able to play your time regardless of what the previous DJ has played, even if they play like an hour of Amapiano. Amapiano is so diverse. There's so much music. You can find what to play to entertain the crowd without sticking to necessarily the bangers that are trending now.
So as DJ Ames, the brand, you happen to get into this industry when it's at its peak.
Yeah.
Every female socialite finds DJing as one of their options to maybe break through or do something.
Yeah.
You come at a point where every female TikToker is trying DJing. So what is that one thing you're leveraging on to stand out as a brand, to speak for you in bars that you have not been to?
I think probably it's primarily my craft. First of all,
because when you realize DJs will always play the same songs, the same transitions, but there's always that one thing that will say, when you hear this and this, the DJ on set. Even if you don't look there, the DJ on set. So how are you leveraging on that? The fact that the industry is now so packed and you need to stand out.
That thing you said of DJs doing the same transitions is actually not true. I can give the same five DJs the same 2 songs, and each of them will probably mix them differently. The way I play is not let's say, the way DJ Kai plays or
You're
the
sure?
way DJ Sise plays. Yeah.
They're different.
Of course there are some, if it's basic transitioning, yes, but like I'm saying, there's some people will choose to scratch, some people will choose to use stems, some people will just mix it in, some will just drop the song. Of course, there's a similarity in the way, because at the end of the day, it's about beat matching and everything. But I don't think every DJ transition is the same.
Okay, that's new.
Yeah.
I didn't know.
But yeah, I think a matter of building your craft and how you learn how to read the crowd. That's what's important. Everyone has something that's working differently for them.
Mm-hmm.
When I began DJing, one thing my manager made a point out of was to focus more on me making sure that people would consider me a good DJ. Like when they hear me, they're like, oh, she plays well. Instead of people, let's say, like looking at me, people wanting to maybe hire me because I look a certain type of way or I dress a certain type of way. Of course, some people, I wouldn't. Okay, here it's not too much. Here it's not really. I'm a big advocate, by the way, for female DJs. I'm so happy that I've come in a time where so many female DJs are coming up. Anytime it's a male-dominated space, it's difficult when you're few in number. But now when you're many, you have like each other to support, each other to lean on. Unfortunately, we entered at like the male DJs that we have at this current time have been very welcoming to us. Like they have been recommending us, booking us. They have not really tried to put us on. Of course, like there are a few people who are like, oh, these female DJs. They come and say that we don't know how to play. All we know how to do is dress up and look.
We are going to get there. We're going to get there. So,
yeah.
And not to take the credit away from Sese Nation, they have really done a great work to putting you out there.
Yeah.
However, I have great information that Sese Nation has quite a number of DJs.
Yeah.
And just to mention, maybe my research was too biased, but you have been fronted more than some of the DJs I know in Sese Nation.
Really?
Yeah. You have been fronted more than them. Oh, maybe because you're a female DJ in Sese Nation, maybe that. But does that have anything to do with how you and your manager want to push your brand, or it's luck that you're the only female DJ in Sese Nation?
Now, first, that's a misconception. We're actually two. Yeah.
I only know one, which means they are pushing one more than the other.
It's not that. I think it's just that we've been operating in different spaces. Mm-hmm. But she's called Jean. She's actually also a very good DJ. Yes, we're two, but Sese Nation is a collective of DJs and it's primarily male. And it's just a matter of everyone's skill set and where they work best. We have different nights, and you'd be surprised how many DJs are at Sese Nation, and probably you guys either don't know or probably you know, but...
Until now, that is the question.
Yeah.
If we know some and we don't know the others, why is it like that? Which means they are pushing these ones we know more.
Sese Nation is doing everything within its power to push all of us.
I know.
I
know I'm putting you on a spot, but
No.
But yeah.
It's not.
Why do we know you and we don't know Jean?
Because you probably go to places where I play. There are people who know Jean and they don't know me.
Assure me.
I'm sure there are probably people who know Jean and they don't know me because probably she has played in a different space. But also, as a company, they can only do so much for you. It's also about you deciding how you want to, and what you're doing for your individual brand.
Just right there, there's why you talked about how men are actually accusing female DJs of putting more emphasis on dressing than the craft.
Yeah.
So still, quite a few weeks ago, there was someone who said on social media that female DJs are doing a lot more on their appearance than investment in the craft. And that, to me, came off as objectifying female DJs.
Yeah.
It looked like we are presenting them for what they look like and not what they play.
Yeah.
Is that something you as a brand are trying to go against and not agree with that?
Yeah. First of all, I think it's important to find a balance in both.
Because you realize that there are event promoters
that
will give you a gig and they expect you to wear a certain type, to look like a certain type of way. And that definitely translates to the fact that they know male spenders are going to come because DJ Ames was putting on a certain type of way. Not because DJ Ames is going to play a good set. You get? How are you trying to leverage on that?
This topic is very sensitive.
It should be.
Yeah. Back to the thing of them saying female DJs just know how to dress. First of all, again, that's another thing I don't think is true. Of course, like, a lot of female DJs are into, let me say, like, fashion, and everyone is free to dress how they want to dress. But female DJs are, I think people are now intimidated because female DJs now, on top of being able to dress, they are also working on their craft. Like, in the beginning, of course, whenever anyone is starting, no one is as good as they are until practice makes perfect.
Yeah.
So people who are complaining have probably been in this game for a very long time. Not a very long time, a long time, but not too long. But the people who have had to complain.
I've been there.
Yeah, because the older DJs, like, surprisingly, I've not had these complaints from them. It's people who are, like, slightly above, who have ever come to me with such complaints. And, like, you got female DJs, they just know how to dress and stuff. But it usually goes beyond that. Of course, some people, because they choose to dress a certain type of way, people are focusing more on their appearance and not, like, listening to the person's actual craft. But at the end of the day, everyone is trying to be the best version of themselves as a DJ. Whether that comes to how they look, how they play, it's very important to have a good balance in both, because the same way, let's say if you're going for a corporate job, you have to present yourself a certain type of way to appeal to the people you're seeking.
So whereas these women are trying to present themselves in the best version of themselves, we should also be cognizant of the fact that we are an African country.
Yes.
And we have certain society rules and norms.
Yeah.
So when you as a DJ go out there for maybe a photo shoot, and maybe instead of taking portrait shots like this, then you want the photographer to come from down like this. You get? Okay. Well, it's all in the name of craft. But now you're showing us thighs. As a female DJ, you want us to do what? You want us to think what? You're showing us your craft.
The problem is, what makes you guys think that they're dressing for you?
I think you're dressing for who? Because you're coming to an event. We're as a brand, as a brand, you see, being a brand is something way bigger than what a normal mind can. You see, a brand starts from the way you dress. Because now, it's no longer your business. It is now public business.
Yeah.
Because you want to be a brand that is going to speak for you when you're not. So if I have your video when you're explicit, that is what I will be fronting. This is the person who dresses like that, and you want us to bring her on our wedding. It's not going to happen. Now that is your brand speaking for you.
Yeah.
So I believe sometimes and this is not in bad faith, sometimes female DJs want to leverage on the fact that when they show skin, sometimes audience comes quick. And you have to believe with me that in our perverted society, when you show skin, chances are high, attention will be gotten quick. And
first of all, let the record state, if my friends are watching this, none of my female DJ friends are not like that, but maybe they're there.
No, people will give names. You will see when this video is out, people will have receipts, even pictures will come.
My friends have worked on their craft.
There are some pictures of yours I sent. You shared with me.
Yeah.
So there's that one that you are in damaged top. Only if I can show you my inbox. But I can't. So it gets me thinking, if that is how we are seeing female DJs, how are we going to move out from that level and we proceed and start seeing female DJs as professional people doing something they want to earn from and support their families?
I feel like we are focused so much on changing the female DJs and not changing the mindset of the people viewing them.
Okay.
Because everyone is always saying they should cover up more and stuff. We have grown up in a society where, of course, you know how African homes are, African communities are. But I think we have reached an era, like, it's the 21st century, please. Can we find a way to, like, move our mentalities from that? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it's more about, like, moving In fact, I encourage them to female DJs to continue dressing like that until guys like get over the fact. Let me say, if of course like a male DJ is not going to come shirtless, but let me use like theoretically, like if a male DJ came shirtless, of course, and let's say he played a bad set, I don't think he would get the same level of criticism as a female DJ who came in a short skirt and played a bad set.
For one whose expectations are high, they will. For example, for me, if DJ Boogie doesn't do it right, I will cook him properly.
For him with the shirtlessness?
Hey, I'll cook him properly. Okay.
Yeah, but I feel like people are more forgiving generally towards, let's say, okay, even if I go and play dressed like this, I'm in full jeans covered. If I make a mistake, people are so critical of female DJs, whereby, of course, okay, there's some people who sets are always like perfect per se, but like no one is 100% perfect. Like sometimes you can try to make a transition and something goes wrong, but people are more forgiving when male DJs do it than female DJs. And generally,
does that have anything to do with us, the viewers? That's nature. Nature positioned you that way. Females will always be noticed before men are noticed,
and that's not fair. I'm not going to pretend and say that as female DJs we have not had certain privileges, because of course, let me say for example, it's a Women's Day event. They will look for female DJs to play the event, or sometimes there's some people who just want to have like gender balance, like they can. There are probably male DJs who can be better than me, but they're like, we want to have a female DJ in the lineup as well. Let's get one who's also good and they'll bring me on. Like, of course, there are certain aspects where we have benefited from being females in the industry. Yeah. But I feel like we have been like criticized so much. We are not forgiven as much for things that happen. Like, okay, personally, I try my best to keep time. Like, if I have a set, let's say at 10, at least if possible, I'd like to be there like an hour before my set.
I can go. At least for the time I can confirm that.
And like, but the day I have something come up and I'm like, I'm going to be maybe 10 minutes late, it can become hell on earth. That chick, she even came late for her set, what? And yet, like, sometimes like things genuinely happen to you as human beings. But if a male DJ comes like even like 15 minutes late and he says, oh, sorry, this and this happened, what, guys won't shout about it as much because they're always complaining. People are always complaining that these female DJs, they don't keep time, they're arrogant, they have attitude, what? And sometimes you're just basically trying to command a certain level of respect boundaries towards you and boundaries. Yeah.
That's something that's something I was going to talk about actually. Yeah. As you see, when you are an upcoming anything, sometimes you are so much tested on your boundaries. Yeah. Because you're desperate to get where you want to go. Yeah. But also you don't want to compromise on your or your principles. Remember, there are event promoters that will come and say, DJ Ames, I'm going to give you an event, but I'm giving you exposure. Yeah. I'm paying you in kind exposure. Is that something as a brand you want to compromise on? And in case you decline, isn't it going to cost you certain levels of exposure that you badly need?
Of course it does, but at the end of the day, you have to stand your ground. When I was starting, of course, I think also because of who my manager is, people gave me a bit more respect. Yeah. But of course, I had those times where people would reach out to me and they're like, I have this event, but me, I would when people would tell me that, I would just look at them like they're batshit crazy. Like, what are you talking about?
What are you talking about? Is exposure going to pay my bills? You get.
But at the end of the day, you have to just stand your ground. You have to develop like a thick skin. First of all, I'm a very big people pleaser, but I had to like teach myself to stand my ground and be like, no, this is XYZ. I will not. There are so many times people had asked me to play for them events for free when I was starting.
But haven't you been desperate at some point that you badly need to be somewhere, as not in comparison with any other DJ, but as according to what you want to be, and you're like, I badly need to play at Blankets, even if they're not paying me, I just want to be there, or I want to be at this party or this gig.
If you show people that you are so desperate to be on that stage, that's the way they are going to view you for the rest of that. No matter what you become, how you become, they're always going to kind of have that view for you. Like, I'm not below, like I have friends who do events. I'm not below going up to a friend and be like, oh, I think I would have a good time playing this event. Or I think like I would relate to the crowd in this event. And like bring it up. And then even when I bring it up, they would still book me and pay me. Like, I don't think anyone is really above that. But this thing of being like, I want to be there so badly that I'm willing to play for free, it starts to deteriorate your value. And even people who would have previously respected you would kind of like their respect for you will start depreciating. I remember there was an event I worked. It was with a big brand. Yeah, it was like with a big brand. And I had 2 other events to play that day. So I explicitly told each and every one of them, and I'm like, it was the day before a public holiday, so you know how that day is always packed. So 2 of them were day events, and one was an event at night. So I never had to worry about the night event. But these 2 day events, one of them had communicated to me a set time a week in advance, which I really appreciated, because I came and I told these guys, I'm like, these guys have given me this time. So my availability is between this time and this time. I gave them almost a 6-hour window. I'm like, this is the availability that I have for you guys. They were like, okay. They picked a time in between. The day before the event, they came and they were like, oh, unfortunately, we can't do in this time range you've given us. We want this particular first time. Again, like I said, I'm a people pleaser, so I tried to be understanding. And I talked to these guys and I told them, you know what? I'm kindly requesting, could you swap my set? Like, fortunately, the DJs on this other lineup were my friends and they accepted to swap with me. So I'm like, okay, I've told these guys, I've swapped to give you this time that you've so desperately asked for. I get to the first venue to play my time that they had asked for. And they were like, oh no, we want to now give you back the other time. I told the person who they had sent to reach out to me, and I'm like, I gave you a week in advance. I told you guys my availability. The day before, you guys came to me and pleaded for this very time. I've reached here and you want to give me now a different time? And I'm like, no. They're like, no, you see what? I'm like, I do not want to hear it. Like, yeah, it was really like a tough battle for me because I had never had to stand up for myself like that. But I'm like, no, we had an agreement. You guys are the ones who requested the day before for this time. You cannot come again and try to change this time. The guy went and told my manager that this chick, she has come here with this attitude, what? But
had they booked you through the manager?
Yeah. So when he of course he was confused because like it sounded so unlike me. It wasn't until he called me and I explained to him the situation that he understood and he was like, oh, okay. But sometimes people think because they are big brands or they are big stages and what they can just walk all over you and throw you around. But you have to stand your ground and be like, if we have agreed upon something. I told them either I'm going to play this time that we had agreed primarily or I'm not going to play at all. Like, of course, it was a privilege for me to play on that stage because I eventually wanted to work in that line, in that line of, I don't want to give too many details that the brand, they may see this and be like, this chick. Yeah. But I wanted to work with them eventually, like their whole company, not that particular brand alone. So I was happy to be on that stage because that was an opportunity for them to discover me. But I'm like, it gets to a point where you can't allow people to step on your head. Because the minute you do, people will not be like, oh, for her, you can just, you can just keep doing this thing. Yeah. You can just keep switching her. You can just keep doing what?
So what has been the worst experience you've had as a DJ, as an upcoming DJ, or you've not yet gotten your worst?
I wouldn't say I've had a worst experience. Of course, I've had a few bad things here and there, but because I work under management and a collective, I believe I'm shielded from a lot of things. Yeah. I think that's why it's important I really respect DJs who manage themselves. Because I can't imagine having to manage myself. I would run mad, dealing with a lot of stuff. So normally my management deals with a lot of things for me, and by the time it gets to me, it's handled and it's a matter of me having to show up. They tell me what they require for me, whether it's a video drop, whether it's something. Yeah, so usually I feel like I'm shielded from a lot of things. I don't think I've really had an experience that's so bad. I've had trying times. I won't lie, but
what's the most of the trying times you've had?
I know I've had trying times, and now when I'm put on that spot, I don't think I can actively think and be this
in the middle of the
time.
set and the set just closes.
Yeah, but
the set just closes.
That's I think there's no DJ who has never experienced that. You can be there playing your set, and a piece of equipment just decides to give way. One side of the controller just stops working, or your C2C just stops working in the middle of the set, or I've actually remembered.
Hey.
I was playing an event. And depending on where you are, sometimes people have access to the booth, sometimes they don't. I was playing an event, and this group of guys comes like around the booth to start dancing. Of course, me, I have no problem with people like dancing around the booth as long as they're usually like respectful of the equipment, because DJ equipment is very sensitive. So they were just dancing around. So I didn't pay much mind to it. I was like, I'll let them dance. So one of these guys climbs onto the platform where the controller is. And he starts dancing and like starts shaking a bit. Like, I'm a bit worried, but I'm still like, Now, I think one of the bouncers notices him and is like, no, let me get this guy down. But the bouncer was like a bit fast, so he starts walking towards the guy. So this guy, I don't know if it was excitement and stuff, he's dancing and he holds the stand where like the booth and everything is. And as he's dancing, he kind of like pulls everything with him. So you can imagine, by the time like I had time to react, I was focused so much on like the controller. I'd even forgotten like my laptop was also there on a stand. So like he kind of like pulls everything and he kind of pulls away the whole front part of the booth, because it was the booth that you set up. So my laptop falls. My laptop falls with the stand, the hard drive. This ends, the controller is halfway tilted. And like all the music goes off. Of course, now everyone, when music goes off, everyone is like, now what's happening? What? Only to look that side, and I'm literally holding the booth like.
I know.
I opened my laptop. And I just see lines on the whole
those green
side.
lines that have
a max screen.
You died eighth phase.
I died inside. And at this point, I'm like, of course, I could tell like the guy is drunk. So I'm like, okay, he's just being drunk. But I didn't know how to react in that moment. So fortunately, it was towards the end of my set. And so one of my other friends just started sitting up while everyone tries to piece together the booth again. But in all this, I have a broken laptop. So I'm like, do I press the guy? What am
I supposed to do here?
What do I do from here? So like the bouncer takes him out and like his friends follow. And like it kind of ends there. So I think that was like probably like the worst. I treasure like my equipment so much. So every time something happens to my stuff, and of course, like a laptop, our MacBook screens are so expensive. I took it the next day and they gave me the quotation and I was just like, Christ. But like, I think that was probably like the worst thing, like a guy pulling the booth apart.
Yeah, then the most interesting, the unforgettable one. Maybe a big stage.
Probably my first Kigali tour. Yeah, I've toured Kigali twice, but my first one. First of all, I went to Kigali when I had not made research.
Yeah, so DJs have to make research.
Like not music wise, like vibes wise. Like I knew Kigali was a vibe, but you guys, we are drinking dupe alcohol in Uganda. Please, I accepted that we are drinking duplicate alcohol. Cause
have you been to Kenya?
Yeah, I did Kenya last year in November.
There's a drink called Kenya Ken in Kenya. That thing.
I'm getting re-traumatized hearing some of these drinks. Now, me generally, I'm not a gin person already. But like when you're in a foreign country, you have to try that country's alcohol. It's like coming to Uganda and you don't try Uganda already. So like I did. So and I went with alcoholic friends. So we would drink it like at the Airbnb and then we would go out. But like we are drinking deep alcohol in Uganda. The first time I went to Kigali, the hangover I woke up with the next day, like after the first night, I woke up with one of the worst hangovers I've ever had in my entire life. I was like, but like I think one of my best experiences was Kigali. I had so much fun. It was my first time playing outside of Uganda. I was of course nervous because I had been a DJ for like 4 months. By that time, I was so nervous. But I went and I went with one of my best friends, DJ Kai. And my manager left us there because he had to come back to Uganda for some stuff, but we were able to like handle everything on our own. And I went with like very many Ugandan DJs. So I think that made it easy. I went with Kai, I went with Tanya, Vans, all those guys. So we were always like, would go to each other's gigs. This experience was nice because I had people like from home. And I made like so many friends. But I think that was my most memorable, my first time out of Uganda.
Okay. So now I want us to talk about this thing that it might be controversial in the eyes of entertainers. So for a long time now, in the past, DJs looked like they are offering favors to play artist music. But now, a couple of weeks or months ago, the government of Uganda enacted a new bill,
Yeah.
copyright, which for a very long time, up to now, I also don't understand it. And I believe very many people out there do not understand it.
Yeah.
So that also comes to shoot people that are in your category, because now we are asking, how are you going to start playing music and you're not violating the law?
The laws.
Or is it something that is not going to work?
First of all, many people didn't know that
Or maybe start with explaining what you understood about the law.
So the original act is called the Copyright and Neighboring Rights Act. Yeah. Most people didn't even know it has been in place since 2006. Yeah, it's been in place since 2006. Just that the amendment bill happened, I think I was in April.
Yeah.
In around April, yeah. So one of the ways you won't violate, a lot of the bars where us DJs play at have licenses. I've forgotten what they're exactly called. The specific licenses that you have issued that allow artists' music to be played in the bars, in your bar or in your premises, So I think, and also, I think in the new amendment there's a monitoring system where the DJ sets are kind of like tracked to gauge what songs have been what songs have been played, how many times an artist has been listened to.
But for the very many years you've been in Uganda, do you see that law working?
Guys, if I get abducted,
stop speaking English.
Jazzing about copyrights.
No.
But no.
The
not
opinions,
entirely.
A minute. The opinions put out on this show do not intend to cause any changes in the society, but mainly for entertainment and research purposes. Please note. Continue.
Yeah. Honestly, legislation in Uganda generally, even aside from this act, it's not as sovereign as it should be. Like, not a lot of legislation works to the extent in which it should. First of all, let me give my opinion on this new act. And a lot of the artists we have probably are not also going to be so stringent on enforcing it and be there like, oh, I also want to see how my music is tracked, because they know at the end of the day they are benefiting from.
But they actually do.
Music. Yeah, there are those who do.
Yesterday,
I'm saying,
yesterday I saw a tweet of one of the artists in the country, and they had posted their MTN mobile money, and they have received some money from UPRS, I think.
Yeah.
They actually follow up.
Yeah, like some do, but a lot of the... Okay, personally, if I was an artist, I don't think I would follow up like that. Because at the end of the day, okay, that's at the same way, I can't be the one to judge, because if someone came to me and, like I said, would book me for exposure, I would look at them like they're insane. But at the same time, like, if let's say I play an artist's music, I won't just use Joshua because he's my friend, and I won't use my friend's name so that they don't attack me. Let me say, like, if I play like Joshua's music, someone is going to hear a song of his and be like, I like this song. What's the song called? They'll Shazam it, they'll stream it, they'll add it on their Apple Music, on their Spotify, whatever. And in turn, like, that's where it truly matters. Like, the more them getting more streams, more views on maybe like their YouTubes and stuff. So I don't think I'd really be on the case, because at the end of the day, the DJs playing my music is for my benefit. Okay. But I feel like to each their own. Those who are enforcing it, I feel like at the end of the day, everyone is doing what they feel like they need to do to protect the sanctity of their music, which I understand. But because this act...
everyone has understood that law differently. And for some reason, the person that explained it to the best of my interest was APAS. I don't know. I want to host APAS one day to explain to me that law properly, because he seemed to have understood it more than anyone. Because the short clips I've seen of him trying to explain here and there about the law, there seem to be a lot of information in what he understands. But and I was thinking that is going to make you have to now not to play certain music, because a musician will come to the owner of the bar or to you as a DJ. Remember, as an upcoming DJ, you also have those mixtapes you do. Maybe you're not in the bar, you're alone. So now, how are you going to do that in the presence of that law?
Now that one,
because I've seen City Girl do the mixtapes. I've not seen yours yet. I've seen quite a number of them. I've seen Linda Den. Now they play maybe at home or something, and they upload on Mixcloud or something.
Yeah.
So do you still have to go by the license of the place that you play for, yet you're playing for your own purpose?
That's why I said I think honestly that legislation is going to be very tricky to maintain. But I feel like that now the artists who really follow up are going to now go and watch these DJs maybe mix, hear their song, and then now look for the DJ. Like, is it ever that serious?
Yeah, it is.
It's
That's
really
what
not
they
that.
say.
And that's why I said each their own. Like maybe I'm speaking because I'm not an artist and I wouldn't understand. Like I'm speaking from my POV, like as a DJ, like in their shoes. But at the end of the day, only the artists who's in their shoes can understand like what they seek from this law. Yeah, but if talking about me not having mixes, it's been a recurring complaint.
I've not seen any.
Because I don't.
Exactly.
It's been a recurring complaint from everyone who comes for my nights, because there are people who can want to listen to me.
Because you see those
but I
mixtapes,
don't
those mixtapes can slap.
Yeah.
They can slap, I'm telling you.
I don't know. In the beginning, it was more of a thing of like, I always wanted people to come and find me live. But yeah, it's something I'm working on.
You download a mixtape, you be at home and close.
In the next couple of months, I'm going to do a couple of mixes, both on Mixcloud and YouTube. I've just been skeptical, but I'm going to do it. In the meantime, shout out to my girl, City Girl. She has one of the best YouTube.
City Girl has a dope mixtape
that
thing.
Chick has YouTube mixes, but like, listen to her mixes, listen to my friends on Mixcloud.
Man, I love a lot of music. I may not go to the bar, but I listen to most of those mixtapes.
Yeah.
I listen to City Girl, VX Faizo, and then my boy, Cass Baby.
For the
Cass
ladies,
Baby,
my big brother, but like Cass.
Yeah,
but they're very, even Aluda, Kai, those guys upload a lot of
those.
Are you serious?
Maybe even
go and look for them
at some point.
Yeah, go and look for them. There's a plethora of DJs mixes out there. Ugandan DJs. And Ugandan DJs have really nice mixes. And so now, it's very sad when let's say like you hear a mix or you listen to a DJ for a first time and they're so good. But why do I never see this person? Why do I not hear this person? Like we have so many good DJs.
So you see, there are also DJs that have specifically made their brand to only play online. Is it only play online?
Yeah.
Because now, sorry to say, I'm not close to DJ Vans, but I am asking myself why he left this other side and went to specifically start pushing his own thing and not playing at radio anymore. Is he playing at radio anymore?
Not anymore. I think in this journey, in this industry, sometimes your time of doing something just elapses. Like he had a very good run while he was on radio.
You get it?
Yeah, he did. But at the end of the day, first of all, like it ended like very well. Like he felt like, and I don't want to speak much on it, but like he felt like I think he felt like it was a chapter that needed to be closed so that he could go somewhere else. But first, he's a very good friend of mine. He's doing what he needs to do for what he feels right for his journey right now. Yeah. And he's doing very well at it. He has the Friday at 1420. Yeah. You're seeing him playing on all these big stages. He was at Summer Tides just this last weekend. And he has his YouTube. I think in the Uganda DJs, he probably has the most following on his YouTube. And views. So it's a matter of everyone doing what they feel is right for their journey at that time.
Back to branding. That also takes me back to the fact that how have you positioned yourself to the fact that even when you're not playing on TVs and radios, people still want to have a taste of you?
Yeah.
DJ Vans is the best example. He never plays on TVs, he never plays on radios, but for some reason, someone will raise up their hand and say, let's get DJ Vans. So is that something you're working on? Where people don't see you often, but then they need you often?
Yeah.
You've talked about your friend Joshua. There's a tweet I saw that Joshua Baraka is so common. You can be there and you see him on a judge.
You guys, where is the camera? If I should face, leave Joshua alone, you guys. Leave Joshua alone.
I was like, you can be there in the market and you see Joshua Baraka moving. And you're like, Joshua, you're an artist.
He's the people's artist. He's the people's artist.
Joshua Baraka must have read 48 Laws of Power. But he needs to read Law 16 more. When you're scarce, your value goes high. Okay, but now, his value is high though.
It's though.
Yeah.
As you can see, as we speak, he's on tour in Australia.
Yeah, exactly. His value is high though, but that low would speak volumes. That was just for fun.
Yeah, but
so that is something I was thinking you are putting effort on, so that even when you are not usually seen, at least your craft is usually on demand.
Yeah. I try to do my best wherever I go. Like I first have my weekly gigs, but here and there, I spend most of my weekends doing like events and like one-off things. I make sure that when I go where I go, I play to the best of my ability. And I think that's what's most important. When you play well, people will always remember you, and they'll be like, I've not had DJ Ames in a while, but she played at this event and she was really good. Or like maybe when I had her play on her Silo Wednesday, she was really good. Let's have her here. It's a matter of just, at the end of the day, it all comes back down to building your craft. Of course, branding is important, but no matter how, let's say how well you brand yourself, at the end of the day, if you don't work on being the best DJ that you can be, everything will always fall apart.
So what's your take on the fact that, as a brand, are you identifying yourself as a local DJ who plays entirely Ugandan content?
Yeah.
Or you are a hybrid DJ that tries to have a mix of both? And if you are a hybrid, isn't that compromising on buy Uganda, build Uganda? Or you don't have good music?
Okay. I consider myself a hybrid. I play practically all genres. Whether it's
Should
Ugandan
I put you on the
music,
spot? Give me 5.
But don't ask me.
No. I cannot not ask
right,
you.
I'm on a podcast. I've come with my relaxed brain. I've not come with my DJ brain.
I cannot not ask you.
I name 5 what?
Now you ask. That's now you.
I name 5 what?
I want you to name 5 Ugandan songs. Ugandan songs that are on charts currently.
That are trending right now.
Yeah, that people are dancing to right now.
At My Door, Daily Bando, Nzalina.
But
What
Daily
Do
Bando
I
is
Know?
Okay.
But people still love it.
Okay.
I know it has been a while, but people still love it. It's like one of those songs that people still hear and shout.
Okay.
My brain has now frozen.
Daily Bando, Nzalina.
What else did I say? What Do I Know?
At My Door.
At My Door. Those are 4. Which other one is really trending like now? Morocco. Oh, Niggas in Fashion.
Now see, who is that? Who is Niggas in Fashion?
What? You don't know that song?
Who is that?
End this podcast now. End this podcast.
No. I expect you to tell me people like maybe.
Oh, you want like real
real when someone says Kapeke, you know that one is Uganda. That one has nothing to do with you guys.
Those you want.
Those are the things I wanted. You cannot
Let me
tell
put
me.
you on. By the way,
You cannot tell me give me Ugandan songs and you're giving me Joshua Baraka because he has a sprinkle of Luganda. That is
but he's Ugandan.
It's Ugandan,
but no, you guys. What do you guys want? You guys say he's everywhere in Uganda.
You have to,
but you're now complaining.
You see, you have to explain to someone for so long that this time is Ugandan.
And that's the problem. The problem is that's why I applaud the new like wave of Ugandan artists. Of course, I appreciate all like the old. I wouldn't call it like old style of Ugandan music, but I love that guys are variating their music. Like people should not. The problem is there was that point where people would hear Ugandan music and expect the same beats, the same. But now people are trying to. Now are you hearing now like this time, which is people get shocked that it's Ugandan, but it's Ugandan.
Yeah, exactly.
People should know. Of course, like don't get me wrong. I love like the old style of Ugandan music. I love me some.
So isn't that compromising the real sound of Uganda? Because you've said this time or Morocco sounds more like the other side than this side. So isn't that compromising what we have here? Because if
this
you ask,
can also become our side.
Because if you ask someone in Chibuye, or let me say Katwe, and you tell them who is the top artist in Uganda, they'll give you their version. You also go to Kololo and ask who is the top artist in the country. They also give you their version.
Yeah.
And you realize they are going to come from 2 different
points of view. Yeah.
One will be more lean to the western side, and the other will be typically here.
But that's why I love music. There's music for everyone.
Okay. And what is about identity then? As what identifies us as a nation?
Before we even go there, I can't believe I've not moved on from the fact that you've asked me what Niggas in Fashion is.
I'm speaking for viewers. I'm not speaking for myself.
Niggas in Fashion is from an album called Denim The album is called Denim Cartel.
Denim Cartel.
Yeah, you know Troy Kente. Yeah, Troy Kente, Axon. What? Those who are, if you out there, you don't know niggas in fashion.
I'm the one who has completed the name of the album. I knew. I was asking for people out there because I mean, what do you mean? You're kidding me.
But no, anyway, I think that's why it's important to balance both old wave and new wave music. Like, of course, I'll be there and I'll play like the Joshuas, the Agsons, the more like we said, but I'll also go back and play like
sprinkle.
Some
if you have
Chameleon,
exactly, if
some Baby
if you have a 2-hour set, I want you to be honest with yourself.
Yeah.
If you have a 2-hour set, what proportion of that set is given to typically Ugandan sound? Typically Ugandan sound. Leave alone throwbacks. What if it's let's say it's African Mandi?
Yeah.
Typically Ugandan sound. How long do you play that?
Probably like maybe like 30 minutes. The problem is like guys get in the back. When you're in the back, you have to keep like I want to say like changing, but like guys get tired easily.
But you
because if I played Ugandan sound for 2 hours straight, guys will get bored.
But you DJs are the ones that make us love those songs.
Yeah.
If you overplay them.
Yeah.
You either make us love them or hate them. You've seen where I say I've overheard that song.
Yes, yeah.
Which means it is because they have overplayed it and it's the DJ overplaying it.
But okay.
So if you want to push Ugandan music, which means you're supposed to overplay it. And Ugandan music, I'm not talking about CXJ or Joshua Baraka or Axon.
But like,
I'm talking about that.
Have you heard Crystal the DJ?
I'm talking about Imran.
Have you listened to Crystal the DJ before?
No.
If you love Ugandan music, look for Crystal the DJ.
I love Ugandan music.
I'm saying generally for the viewers. If you love Ugandan music, look for Crystal the DJ. But the thing is, like, first of all, people in the bar can never 100% be content. Like if you play, let me say bangers, guys will be like, oh, I've overheard these songs. But then when you don't play bangers, guys will kind of get. If you don't play bangers, guys will now start complaining, oh, we don't hear the songs we want to hear. If you play old music, guys want to listen to new music. If you play new music, they only want to hear new music that they know. When you play music that they know, they're like, we hear the same songs. You try to introduce music that they don't know. Now they're looking at you like this, that they're bored. The DJ is boring. You play dance challenges, guys are like, okay, we're tired of dancing now. So like in the back, guys.
Just right there at the dance challenges.
Yeah.
You see, reality in the club and social media are giving two different vibes. Eh?
True.
You know, a song can be a hit on TikTok, and when you play it in the bar, it doesn't make noise. You know that?
There's
especially
some, but
when they just made the challenge of like a portion, like a particular part. So, and it is a big tune on TikTok or maybe Instagram, Snapchat. But when you play it in club, until you play that part, the club is calm.
That's why, like, you have to.
So, as a DJ trying to make the statement, how are you trying to? Is it about research to value what is actually working on social media and what actually works in the club? Yeah,
actually, I always, especially for full-time DJs, you have to real treat DJing like a 9 to 5. Like at night, you're out in the bar playing music. During that day, you're searching, you're downloading new music. You're like, what's trending now? What do you guys want to listen to? Which artist has released new music? Which artist that people love has released new music? A lot of people think DJs just come to the bar, put their equipment there, press buttons, and go about their night. That's not how it is. DJs do a lot of research. You guys always hear like mixes of songs, and you're like, where does this DJ find this mix? You have to go on like DJ City, on like all these sites to get different versions of songs and what. There's a lot of research that goes into DJing. Because if it was just a matter of just coming and playing, you guys wouldn't be hearing all the new music that you hear now, all these mixed versions, all these TikTok versions. There are versions of songs that you can't find like on ordinary download sites. Like you have to take clips from TikTok, extract the clips, make your cue points. Not like you said in these dance challenges, guys only like maybe a particular part of the song. But the song, and you know, like these amapiano songs are very lengthy, like 6-7 minutes. So you're not going to play like the whole song. You have to get like that. You have to get the song, find the part which people like, find where to mix in, from where, like, of course you don't just mix into the challenge, of course there's some you do, but like you find what's the best part to mix into, where people will start understanding, like, oh, this is a song that's coming, for them to get hyped.
I see experience speaking directly in front of me, properly, Pro Max. So just as we come to the end of the pod, there's always a segment that is tailored depending on the guest I have for the day.
Okay. This is one where I said I'll get shocked.
You may not, but chances are high you will. So it's called, for this particular episode, it's called Hit, Trash, Genuine. So if I'm going to give you scenarios, quite a number of scenarios of what is happening in the country, maybe nightlife and branding as in general, and you tell me if you believe it will hit, you say hit. If you believe it's going to be short term, it may work, but then over time it will fade out. And if you believe it should be just taken to the trash can, you say trash.
Okay.
You get? So it is trash, genuine, and then
hit.
Is that okay? So, 1, DJs and musicians collaborating with the intention of making individual revenue. Say Joshua Baraka featuring DJ Ames.
Yeah.
Entirely. When you know DJ Ames is the one that plays Joshua Baraka's songs only.
That's a tricky one. I think I would say maybe genuine.
It will work for some short time?
Yeah. Because let's say if I'm playing for Joshua, like you said, not everywhere is going to have me. Yeah. And so, of course, like people will hear him here and there, but your music has to be diversified, like played all over. So after some time, like it will fade away when you need people to hear you. So yeah, genuine.
Genuine, eh? So the copyright law.
Genuine.
It's genuine.
Yeah.
Why do you believe it will fade?
Legislation in Uganda. Like as we speak, they are amending something for sure.
Okay.
So, and usually sometimes it's to tailor to the needs of the people it benefits. Other times,
which type of drone do you want to pick you from here?
I stopped there.
Which type of drone do you want to pick you from here?
I've stopped there. I wanted it to be abducted, please.
Okay,
Thank
so
you.
Typically describe a Kampala night for someone coming to Uganda for the first time.
First of all, early arrival is advised. If you want, I always recommend like reserving your table ahead. If you can reach out to like the host or like the bar to reserve your table ahead, because you'll stroll in at time X and find it packed, and then you'll complain that there's nowhere good to see it. So early arrival is advised. Of course, there's that. Of course, African time, but like I prefer going early.
No, for someone who's coming from abroad, they don't know African time.
Exactly.
When you tell them 6, they'll come at 6.
Again, 6 is crazy, but no, whether if you're viewing this, we have a night called Silent Wednesday. That's today.
And you can't tell us where to find
I won't tell you. Yeah, but like now for Silent Wednesday, I like to go early. Either from here, from this pod, I'm attacking. Yeah, because there are nice offers on like cocktails and stuff. So early arrival is advised.
Am I invited?
Come.
On whose bill?
On mine. You come.
Count me there.
Yeah. Secondly, expect that you're going to hear all kinds of music. And that's why I love Ugandan DJs, by the way. I think we have some of the best DJs. If you're an R&B lover, you'll hear some R&B, you'll hear some hip hop, you'll hear Amapiano, you'll hear Afrobeats, Ugandan music, dancehall, reggae, in the same night. So prepare to hear all kinds of music. So if you're a music lover, Ugandan nightlife is the scene. Expect to drink a lot of alcohol. If you're partying with Ugandans, we are in an alcoholic crisis.
It gets me thinking. When someone visits Uganda, when someone visits Kampala in the morning, they'll have a different perspective.
Yeah.
And when they visit Kampala in the night, they'll also have a different perspective. There are 2 different countries in the same country. The economies
Day economy and night economy.
The night economy doesn't know fuel is high. By the way, let me tell you this as we wrap up the show. Let me tell you this: it is very risky to party with people that have a car. You see, I one time had colleagues who had a car. We started the night at Thrones. Then those guys are like, Thrones is not it. Cask. It's not it. By morning, we were in Ginger. Because we had a car. Every 30 minutes, we're like, this bar is not. We went up to Trans-Africa. Is it Trans-Africa? In Ginger.
The funniest thing is that happened to me like a couple of months back. What Mezo? Next thing I knew, we were waking up with Ginger.
I cannot go out with people who have a car. It is very risky. You can end up in the next country. You may end up in Kenya.
Every time I party with a friend called Albert, I don't know if you know him, a guy of Ivers. Whenever I'm going to party with Albert, I prepare myself mentally. Albert is the kind of person you can party with and you find yourself at the airport. You can party with him and you find yourself at the airport booking a ticket. Like there was a time we were at Mezo, just jazzing, partying. Next thing I know, we were on, it's called what? One of those booking sites to book up flight. I told Albert,
I'm done with you.
Time out.
Otherwise, it has been a very interesting session with DJ Ames. Please look out for her sites as she's going to tell us where she's going to be. This episode is going to be up on Friday. So you're going to tell us where we're going to find you from today till Sunday.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Friday.
Today.
Okay, I have today. Wednesday. Okay, let me first give guys my weekly gigs without fail. Every Tuesday, we have Tea Thrills Tuesday at Leboti. Every Wednesday, we have Silo Recess. Yeah, it's Destination with DJ Dash. Every Thursday, above 18 Thursdays at Thrones. And every Sunday, we're back at Leboti for Domingo Sundays. Destination, yeah. Saturdays and Fridays and Saturdays usually do different venues, different events. But this particular Saturday, every second Saturday of the month, I'm at Alchemist with Camlot, DJ Scatter, and DJ Sal. We have a thing called Girls Wanna Have Fun. It's for ladies only from 12 to 7 p.m. Then at 7 p.m. it opens up for everyone. So at Alchemist. So that's for this Saturday. Yeah.
So you've had her right. You know where to find her for that music test you don't want to miss out. It's been a very good time with you here. Hope to catch you in the next episode. Till next time, peace.